I'm Thomas from Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie from Believe in the Run.
And today, we're gonna get into a shoe review, but before we do, we're gonna tell you about Feature Socks, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, this review is sponsored by Features, one of our favorite socks, my favorite sock, really.
Yeah.
And you know, we've talked about them before. We love all their synthetic socks. If you're wearing cotton socks, you're a moron.
You need a sock that's either synthetic fibers or merino wool, which Robbie prefers. And you get this nice padding in the heel, padding in the front.
I'm a max cushion guy. I like the max cushion.
I mean, they have all sorts of options. They have thin socks, max cushion socks. But what I like about Features is they're anatomically correct. What that means is a left and right sock. Some people like roll their eyes at that. But it actually does a nice job providing compression for your arch. So that's why it's there. And it keeps that sock fitted to your foot. You don't get bunching, you don't get blisters. If you're gonna spend the money on shoes like this,
get a nice pair of socks, yo.
Yeah, don't.
By the way, save 10% by use code BLEEP10. Hit the link in the description.
You gotta admit, if you have to watch a commercial,
I mean,
that's a pretty good
you want
one.
these faces.
You want these.
Let's be honest.
But today, Robbie, what are we talking about?
The Saucony Endorphin Pro Plus. Did that work?
When shoe companies put plus, like we've done the Razor Plus, this is the Pro Plus, what does the plus usually mean?
Well, first off, I want a company to do the minus.
Ooh, this actually would have been a good minus.
Because you get faster
and
it's lighter.
Less time, less weight, negative split. Plus usually means not a complete overhaul of a shoe.
Right, it's like, this is a little bit extra.
It's not enough to call it a 2 or a 3. It's a plus.
Yeah. So what's more about this? What's more is less. The Saucony Endorphin Pro, if you don't know, is their plated, carbon plated race day shoe.
Yeah, this is their tip of the spear.
Yeah, this is what their pros are wearing, unless they're wearing a prototype, which we've seen.
Did you hear that humble brag right there? Which we've seen. We've seen one of the ones.
Just because we were in a race that we saw.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
This is their Vaporfly, their Metaspeed Sky, their RC Elite, their Adios Pro. This is their race day shoe. This is a little bit different than some race day shoes in that it's a little bit firmer. It still has that bounce, but there's a super snappy feel off the toe.
This one does feel closer to a traditional racing flat with cushion than some of the other ones feel like kind of revolutionary, which isn't a bad thing.
And like, it does have Pebax foam with their Power On PB midsole. And I should say that this midsole and outsole, basically the chassis and engine of the car, is the exact same as the Endorphin Pro 2 and the 1. If you're familiar with the ride and the feel of either of those shoes, it's the exact same ride.
Even with that said, I don't know why I like this one the best out of them.
No, I feel the same way. But
and I think I have some ideas why, but let's get into what's going on with the upper, Robbie, and what they did.
Saucony was going for something that had that minimalist track spike feel as far as the upper, and they really just stripped it down from this version and the first version, and made it just like a thin mesh upper with this micro suede tongue, which is really kind of a classy touch, if you ask me.
It is. The tongue is the one area though where I kind of miss what they had going on in the first two versions, which is more kind of like a booty tongue construction with the gusseted sides. So this one you do when you're sliding your foot in, you want to make sure that you're lining up the tongue correctly so that you're getting it to fit right.
It does go like extend the whole way down on each side though.
It's just it does, but you have to make sure that like you could fold it over and you could have an irritation without realizing it. True. The airiness of the upper, I mean, I love the white look. It's funny, like this shoe has taught me how biased I can be just based on whether or not I like the aesthetic of the shoe. And this one has a very clean, I just love the look. And if you saw them do that event in Berlin with
like Parker Stinson,
and Jay Ward, they had the kits that all match this, and I just thought it was like,
I mean, if you go for like an all black kit or like an all white and you throw this on there, dude, that's an exclamation point, like an exclamation point. I don't know what else to say.
The new fitting upper, I will say, in first step in, I was a little worried because it felt like there's a little bit of heel lift and it felt like there wasn't that just snug fit.
Which we kind of felt from the other versions as well.
When I was running, I had no issues at all.
No, and I definitely like took the eyelets the whole way to the top, just locked that down in there, and same thing. I didn't.
Wait,
have
when you
any
say
issues.
all the way to the top, you did the.
I went the whole way.
Oh, but you didn't do runner's loop. You just.
I
went
didn't
all
do
the way.
runner's loop. Because I'm lazy.
Lazy loop.
Lazy loop.
Lazy loop over here.
Can we patent that?
Yeah.
Put a trademark on that.
We both did longer runs in this. I'm starting to head into taper. Robbie, you just did a 20-mile run in this one.
Yeah, my first 20-mile run of this marathon training, because I've marathon in November. And like, this isn't the most cushioned feeling shoe for 20 miles, but I just love the way this shoe feels, I have to say. This is one of my favorite feeling shoes to just take out and just run fast.
For me, you can get a rhythm in the shoe, where other shoes, sometimes I feel like you have to fight to stay in the pace. I feel like this is light, fast moving, and kind of, you would say, goes in on a rail.
For me, shoes like the RC Elite or even the Vaporfly, that feels like I had to work to stay at the pace I want to be at. Where this, I always feel like, for this past long run, I did 5 at marathon pace from like 12 to 17. And I just felt like once you get in that rhythm and pace, the speed roll, just like, you're just clocking.
I didn't really love the original version of this when it compares to, say, some of the other super race shoes. I don't know. I didn't love it when it came down to comparing it to, say, Vaporfly, RC Elite, Metaspeed Sky, Alpha Fly. I kind of put this one a little bit below those. And for some reason, wearing this one, maybe it's the weight drop with the upper, that it brought it back up into that competitor zone for me, that I was like, this feels great on the foot.
I get why some people might like to say Vaporfly or RC Elite. There's more cushion, like, I feel like you're gonna save your legs more.
This still has a bounce though, which is surprising.
It does have a bounce, that's the thing. This has a great bounce to it, but it might not, maybe in later miles of the marathon, your legs might be feeling it a little bit more.
Yeah, I would agree.
So it just kind of depends what you want. If you want that feel, that fast feel, maybe you're gonna lean towards this. Or if you want maybe not to feel so tired at the end of a race, go like more of the softer feeling shoes.
Yeah. So Robbie, how much weight does this upper take off of this chassis?
So it took off, for a men's size 9, it actually took off 0.6 ounces, but for your 10.5, it took off 3/4 of an ounce.
Yeah, 3/4. So mine was, this one's over 8, this one's over 8, this one's under 8.
That was 7.5 ounces for your size 10.5.
Yeah.
Brandon, throw the grams up on there.
This is an enjoyable shoe, enjoyable update. You are able to find the one now at a considerable cost savings.
This one is $250, which now, before it was kind of like a bargain race day shoe at $200, bargain. But now it's at the same level as, you know, Metaspeed Sky, RC Elite, Vaporfly. So here's the question, is this worth $50 over this?
I can't speak for someone's wallet. What I will say is this is my favorite version of the Saucony Pro.
I think if you're gonna drop that coin, you might as well just.
You might as well go for it.
You might as well just go for it.
Here's my thing.
Full send.
Is, do you want to be looking at your shoes when you're lining up on the race day, and go, well, I saved $50,
but I look like I'm going to a fun house.
or just like, hey, that extra 3/4 of an ounce at mile 20 is gonna be saving me some energy.
Yeah, and I will say, here's where I differ a little bit. This is on sale in some places for like $150, 130 depending on your size.
Yeah, $100 is tough to give up.
It's usually in those upper size like 12 to 14. But if you can get this for like $130, you're probably gonna want to snag that.
Maybe you wait for this one to go on sale. If you can get it. I think it's gonna be limited edition.
It is limited edition, so I don't know you're gonna find this on sale. So
yeah.
You're just gonna have to spring for it.
I was happy to get these back on my feet, and kind of, it renewed my love for this shoe, where I was kind of like letting it slide under some of the other super shoes.
Yeah, so if you like something that's a little more firm, snappier, and a faster feeling shoe that feels maybe more like a traditional race day shoe, but with a nice bounce, you might want to grab this one.
And I do feel like this is a great shoe option for those shorter races, maybe races with more turns. This definitely doesn't feel as high stacked as some of the super shoes, and corners amazingly well. All right, so that does it. Robbie, what should people do?
Well, if you want to buy this shoe, you can check it out in the description. Should note that it's only available for limited time. Also, follow us, subscribe, and like this video, please. And then follow us on all our other channels, Strava, especially Strava Club.
Yeah, Instagrams.
Facebook.
We have a Drop podcast. We have a Fuel for the Soul. Matter of fact,
we're going to have Parker Stinson on the podcast.
Yeah, he's actually running the shoe fast.
Yep. So listen to that. That's coming out this week.
Yeah. And I guess say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Robin.
Never watch this.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.
All right. I've started watching Foundation.
Is that what is
It's based on the Isaac Asimov book, but it's it's kind of interesting. One of the things I really like about it, the guy who's the emperor, he basically duplicates himself every 3 years. So he's got dawn, he's day, and there's dusk. So there's like a 60-year-old version of him. There's a 30-year-old version of him, and then there's like a 10-year-old version of him, or a 40-year-old, and so on.
That's like a day in the life of me.
Well, it's kind of but but I like it because that's kind of fascinating to me. Like, imagine being able to teach yourself stuff from yourself. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's weird.
I always get Isaac Asimov and Isaac Newton mixed up. Totally different.
Yeah, they are different. One wrote space science fiction. One had an apple fall on his head.
Yeah.
But they ended up the same.
How do you know he didn't write space science fiction?
He probably did clone himself, and then he's like...
But what if it's the same guy? What if that's the premise of the book?
That would be good.
That.
Yeah.
All right.
And Socrates. Let's throw him in there.